Welcome to tutorials for the English EOC test. During this tutorial, we will examine the persuasive essay, which will appear on the English 2 EOC test. The persuasive essay is worth 26% of your overall score on the English 2 EOC. You can score anywhere from a 0 to a 4 on the essay. The higher you score on the essay, the more likely you are to pass the overall EOC. Let's begin by examining the state's English 2 EOC Persuasive Essay rubric. This document is a shorthand version of the lengthy rubric with which the state has provided us. However, all the information is essentially the same. The state will score your essay based on three main categories: organization and progression, development of ideas, and use of language. In order to judge the organization and progression of your essay, various criteria will be examined. For example, is the structure of your essay appropriate for the prompt, and is it skillfully crafted? Does your essay demonstrate unity and coherence by making your position clear, providing ideas that are strongly related, and sustaining focus throughout your entire essay? Is the progression of your essay logical and well controlled? Does it have strong transitions that enhance the flow of the essay? Furthermore, in order to judge the development of ideas in your essay, additional criteria will be examined. For example, do you provide a highly effective, forceful, and convincing argument? Do you include specific, well-chosen evidence? Is your essay thoughtful and engaging? Does it recognize the complexities of the topic? And does it acknowledge the opposing points of view? Does your essay demonstrate a thorough understanding of the persuasive task? Finally, in order to judge the use of language within your essay, other criteria will be examined. For example, does your word choice demonstrate a keen awareness of the persuasive purpose and help maintain an appropriate tone? Are your words purposeful and precise? Do they strongly contribute toward your essay? Are your sentences purposeful, varied, and well controlled? Do your sentences enhance the effectiveness of the essay? Do your conventions demonstrate your consistent command of spelling, capitalization, punctuation, grammar, and usage? Do you have minor errors that do not detract from your essay? Our goal is to score a 3 or 4 on our persuasive essays. This can be accomplished through careful organization, thoroughly developed ideas, and a crafty use of language. There are a few things you should remember about your essay. Number 1, you only have 26 lines on which to write your essay. This is 1 page. You should fill most of the lines. You are not being graded on your ability to fill the page. In fact, it is entirely possible to fail the essay even if you have filled the page, if, for example, you are off topic. However, remember the category about development of ideas? If you are not filling most of the page, then you are not thoroughly developing your ideas. Half a page of writing will not cut it. If you have extra lines, then you have room to be more persuasive. Number 2, your graders will only see what you have written on the lines inside the essay box. Any writing outside the essay box in the margin will not be considered when your essay is being scored. Number 3, the thesis sentence is non-negotiable. It tells the reader which side of the argument you are on. This is a persuasive essay after all, and you are supposed to persuade the reader that your side is the right side. You should begin this persuasive process by providing the reader with a clear understanding of which side you are on. The thesis sentence should be located at the end of your introduction, and it should very simply and clearly state your side of the argument. Number 4, we'll examine potential structures for the persuasive essays in a minute, but know this: gone are the days of one long block paragraph. That's how you organized a paper in first grade. We will use multiple paragraphs in order to show organization and to help progress our ideas. Remember the category on your rubric about organization and progression? Using multiple paragraphs will help you score higher in this category. The basic idea is that you will start a new paragraph each time you start a new idea. You will most likely have 4 paragraphs in this essay, including an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. And finally, number 5. This is a test of your writing ability. In other words, you're not just being graded on what you say, but how you say it. Remember that you must support your fantastic ideas with fantastic writing. Carefully consider your word choice as you write. Make use of your dictionary and thesaurus. Revise for clarity. Edit for capitalization, spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Remember the category on your rubric about use of language? Being careful with how you write will help you score better in this category. Now let's take a look at an essay that scored a 4 so that we know what the state is expecting in terms of final product. This prompt says, read the following quotation. What I like about cities is that everything is king size, the beauty and the ugliness. Although large cities are exciting places to live, small towns have their own special characteristics. Think carefully about this idea. Write an essay stating your position on whether it is better to live in a large city or in a small town. Be sure to state your position clearly, use appropriate organization, provide specific support for your argument, choose your words carefully, edit your writing for grammar, mechanics, and spelling. It is important to locate the actual prompt on the page. Can you spot it? Where you see the words write an essay will indicate your actual prompt. You should probably place a box around your prompt. In this case, the prompt says, write an essay stating your position on whether it is better to live in a large city or a small town. Now, circle the key words or phrases in your prompt. In this case, circle the words better, and live, and large city, and small town. You would want to be sure that you include these key words and phrases in your actual essay. It will help ensure that you are, in fact, on topic. Let's read our sample essay. Would you rather live in a big city or a small town? That is kind of like asking whether you would rather be overwhelmed and swallowed up by where you reside or if you want to be a part of something where you live. It is better to live in a small town where you can actually know and love the people and places around you. Living in a small town is simply better than being in a big city. In a small town, you actually get to meet and know the people around you. If everyone is close, then everyone cares about each other too. For example, in a big city, people don't care about going to others' parades or sporting events. While in a small town, everyone will go to a baseball game on Friday night, and everyone can cheer on the team by name. It's also not as busy. People can lay back and really enjoy their home. City residents believe that living in a chaotic and crowded place is a good place to be because all your malls, diners, and grocery stores are right there. Unfortunately, these people don't realize what they're missing. They walk by people every day and don't even know their names or what they do. Also, city parents will send their kids to school, where they will be in a class of 25 to 30, while small town people have about 15, and they know their teachers personally. So it's clear that small towns are a better option. Obviously, it is better to be in a small town where you feel like you're cared about and loved. Maybe you should sell that condo you have in the city and instead move to a nice neighborhood in a small town. The state says that in this thoughtful and engaging essay, the writer argues that small towns are better places to live because you can actually know and love the people and places around you. The argument is skillfully crafted because the writer combines cause and effect and compare-contrast organizational strategies, which are particularly well suited to the persuasive task. Using specific evidence, the writer develops the idea that, in small towns, people are truly connected to those around them, as opposed to city dwellers who sacrifice personal connections for convenience. The writer concludes this essay with a call to action, demonstrating a thorough understanding of the persuasive task. The specific word choice and overall strength of the conventions further contribute to the effectiveness of this essay. Now, let's examine a possible structure for the persuasive essay. Earlier we discussed that we would most likely have 4 paragraphs in the persuasive essay: an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Keep in mind that you only have 26 lines. The bulk of your essay should focus on the 2 body paragraphs in the middle of your essay. However, remember that a short introduction and a conclusion are necessary for an effectively organized and developed essay. You can create a 3-sentence introduction, which includes an attention getter, a bridge, and a thesis. The attention getter could be something simple like a rhetorical question, a startling statement, or a quotation from the original prompt page. The bridge is a sentence that introduces the topic and possibly acknowledges the controversy surrounding the topic. The bridge will ideally connect or bridge your attention getter to your thesis. Your thesis is the last sentence of the introduction. It is the most important sentence in the whole essay because it tells the reader which side of the argument you are on, and therefore what the whole essay will be about. The thesis should be like a roadmap for the rest of the essay. Next, each body paragraph should focus on a separate reason why your side of the argument is the right side of the argument. You should begin your body paragraph with a topic sentence. Just like the thesis tells us what the whole essay will be about, the topic sentence tells us what just the paragraph will be about. You will then support your topic sentence with a real-life example of that particular reason. Your real-life example can be one of several options. You could provide a real-life example of something you are personally aware of, something that you have been involved in, or something you have witnessed yourself. You could also provide a real-life example of something that has happened to someone close to you. Also, you could provide a real-life example of something that has been in the news, though you're going to need to already know enough about the news event to provide details. Or you could provide a real-life historical example. Whatever real-life example you provide should directly relate to your topic sentence, and it should serve as an illustration of the reason why your side is the best side of the argument. You should go into as much detail as possible with this example, and you should tie it back to your topic sentence. You should clearly state why your real-life example supports your reason. Even if it seems obvious to you how your example supports your reason, you must put it down on paper for the reader to see. You should repeat this process twice. Your first body paragraph should contain the first reason why you're right, along with a real-life example to support it, and your second body paragraph should contain another reason why you're right, along with another real-life example to support it. Finally, your conclusion is incredibly important. We recommend a 3-part conclusion, which includes a counter-argument, rebuttal, and call to action. The counter-argument is the argument that the opposing side might provide as to why they're right. The rebuttal is where you acknowledge that the opposing side may have a good point, but you refute their reasoning by demonstrating why your side is still the right side. And finally, the call to action is what you want the reader to think, feel, believe, or do differently now that he or she has read your essay.